Good morning. My name is Chasen Ishii, Vice Chairperson for the Authority. I'd like to now call to order the July 1st, 2026 at-large authority meeting of the Hawaii Community Development Authority. The time is now 9 a.m.
Thank you, Vice Chair. In accordance with Section 92-3.7 Hawaii Revised Statutes, the Hawaii Community Development Authority is holding today's at-large board meeting virtually on Zoom. Details were included on the meeting agenda. Therefore, members of the public are welcome to join us on Zoom and also at our physical meeting site at the American Brewery Building, 547 Queen Street, second floor boardroom, Honolulu, Hawaii, 96813. The HCDA communication staff is hosting this meeting. Once this meeting begins, everyone will be muted for clear audio. Board members, if you have any comments or questions, please unmute yourselves to speak. It is important that all individuals clearly state their name, pseudonym, or other identifier name each time prior to speaking. If you wish to provide oral testimony and you are attending virtually, please indicate so by clicking the raise hand button found on your Zoom screen. If you're attending in person, you will be called to the front of the room in the order that you signed up. Before you begin your testimony, we ask that you identify yourself and spell your name for the record. Your testimony must be related to an item on the agenda. All testimony be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes. When time has elapsed, time will be called out, after which you have 30 seconds to conclude your testimony. Then your audio will be turned on. If you are attending in person, the presiding officer will call the next testifier. Keep in mind that this is an opportunity to share your thoughts with us. If you ask questions during your testimony, neither the board nor the staff is required to provide an answer. If the authority's connection for the remote meeting is lost, the meeting will be recessed until the connection is restored. If the connection cannot be restored within 30 minutes, the meeting will be terminated and the authority will continue the meeting at another notice date. Thank you. Vice Chair.
HCDA board members, please remain visible and audible during the meeting. Also, please acknowledge you are present by either saying here or present. Let the record reflect the following members are present. Secretary Lidstone.
Eo.
Member Johnson.
Here.
Member Anderson.
Present.
Member Wicker.
Present.
Member Strites.
Present.
Member Takakura. Member Takakura.
Come back.
Member Sarvis.
Here.
Member Chino.
Here.
Member Sakota.
Here.
Member Duvashel.
Here.
Member Leong.
Here.
Member Kabibi.
Here.
And Member Yamasaki.
Yamasaki is excuse, Chair, Vice Chair. Maybe Member Takakura one more time.
Yeah, Member Takakura.
Yes, we have quorum.
Yeah, great. For today's meeting, board members will have an opportunity to ask questions or provide comments after an agenda item has been presented. Individuals from the public who have requested to provide verbal public testimony on a specific agenda item are on standby and will be permitted to provide their testimony respectively. Item number 1, regular meeting minutes of June 3rd, 2026. Board members, are there any comments or corrections to these minutes?
Vice Chair.
Member Strites?
I did notice on page 7, there is a motion to accept the PIG report. It was unclear who the excused member was. Can we add that to the record? Thanks.
Okay, we'll add that. Member Strites.
Thanks. That's all.
Thank you, Member Strites. Any other comments or questions on the minutes? If not, the minutes are approved with corrections as noted. Item number 2, election of officers, fiscal year 2026-2027. We will now conduct the election of HCDA officers for fiscal year 2026-2027. I note that our bylaws call for the election of officers to be elected on the first meeting following July 1st of each year. Before we take nominations, we will hear public testimony. Is there any public testimony?
Madam Chair.
There are no public testimony or inquiries provided. Let's go ahead and let's open the nominations for respective offices of chairperson, vice chairperson, and secretary. Board members, will you make separate nominations for each office, or you may also nominate a slate of officers? You may nominate yourself if you wish to, or volunteer to serve as an officer. Is there any nominations?
I'd like to offer a slate. I'd like to nominate Michaela Lidstone as chair, Jason Ishii as vice chair, and Ipolani Duvashel as secretary.
Thank you, Member Leong. So we have a nomination for Chair Mikiala, Vice Chair myself, and Secretary Duvashel, Member Duvashel. Is there any other nominations for chairperson, vice chairperson, or secretary, or a slate of officers? Since there's none, may I ask Craig to conduct a roll call vote on the nominated slate of officers?
Thank you, Vice Chair. The nominations being closed, conducting a roll call vote for the slate consisting of member Mikiala Lidstone for chairperson, member Jason Ishii for vice chairperson, and member Ipolani Duvashel for secretary. So on the vote, Secretary Lidstone,
Aye.
member Miranda Johnson,
Aye.
member Anderson,
Aye.
member Wicker,
Aye.
member Strites,
Aye.
member Takakura, member Sarvis,
Aye.
member Sakota,
Yes.
member Chino,
Aye.
member Duvashel,
Yes.
member Leo,
Aye.
member Kabibi.
Yes.
Still- Yes, okay. And member Yamasaki is excused, Vice Chair Ishii.
Yes.
Chair, congratulations to the new officers for fiscal year 2026-2027, consisting of Chairperson Mikiala Lidstone, member Jason Ishii for Vice Chairperson, and member Ipolani Duvashel for Secretary. Thank you. all.
Thank you. All right. So item number 3, findings and okay, well, to continue though.
You can continue.
Okay.
Yeah, you can continue.
All right. The finding and recommendations of the permitted interaction group established at the May 6, 2026 General Authority Board meeting pursuant to section 92-2.5B Hawaii Revised Statutes for the purpose of establishing the executive director's new 1-year, 2-year, and 3-year goals, and accordingly amend the agency's strategic plan adopted by the authority at the June 4, 2025 General Authority meeting. I would like to call up Mr. Sterling Higa, PIG member, who will now present the staff report. Sterling?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, board members. Sterling Higa here on behalf of the Permitted Interaction Group, which included myself, Secretary Lidstone, and members Kabibi, Duvashel, Leong, Sakota, and Wicker. We had 2 meetings to talk about the strategic plan revision on June 16th and June 19th, and voted unanimously to recommend this draft plan that's dated August 5th, 2026 for adoption by the General Authority Board. I'll briefly outline some of the key things in our discussion that are reflected in this report. The first thing in the executive summary is you'll note that there is an increasing scope of responsibility being assigned to this agency. There are 2 bills pending before the governor. The Halava Community Development District Bill, SB 2599, and the Banyan Drive Community Development District Bill SB 2001 that are both pending the governor's approval. And those bills would add new districts to the agency. And so in light of that, we wanted the strategic plan to reflect that the agency has to balance both its increase in scope of responsibilities with the resources provided to it, and to ensure that we're seeking additional resources from the state to meet our needs as an agency. The report goes on page 5, or page 4 reflects the values which have not changed. Page 5 reflects the districts that are assigned to HCDA, which include Kaka'ako, Kalailoa, He'ia, Hulehenui, and the TOD zones. We didn't include Halava and Banyan Drive there because those bills are still pending, but those are the areas of current responsibility for the agency, in addition to the Act 252 projects. One of the key points of feedback from the PIG members was having a easier way at a glance to track progress in the different districts and toward the different goals for Act 252 projects. So this table that you see below, beginning on page 7 and extending through the rest of the strategic plan, is the effort of staff, which we commended them for, to show all of the different areas of responsibility and the phases of development for each project and where the agency is at in the next sort of fiscal year, what their goals are. This was requested not only by members of the board so that they can have an easier time of tracking the agency, but also was, we feel, would be of value to members of the legislature. Every year, members of the legislature have to make appropriation decisions. And we thought it was important to have a easy way for them at a glance to get an understanding of what this agency is doing. As you'll notice, that table goes from page 7 all the way to page 20 and reflects a huge scope of responsibilities. So I'll just briefly go through the categories rather than the individual items. So starting on page 7, there are the sort of general objectives of the agency, and these are the high-level strategic priorities of the agency. Starting on page 8, there's the Kaka'ako Development District, which has both district-wide projects and also individual development projects within that district, many of which are assigned to us by the legislature. Starting on page 11, you'll see the Kalailoa project descriptions, phases, and objectives. And starting on page 14, we have the brief section for He'ia, which, as a district that does not have substantial development going on, is much shorter in terms of its objectives. Then we have Hulehenui on Maui, where we are in the phase of development and our progress in working with the contractor that's working there. Then we have the TOD zone starting on page 15. And the TOD zones, that statute allows different zones to be set up across the state. So this reflects the areas in which we are actively working. Moving on to page 16, we have a little bit about project management and then Banyan Drive. And obviously this is pending legislative approval of SB 2001. But all indications are that this bill will move in. So we have it reflected in the plan. Page 17, you'll see a brief section on Halava as well. This bill is also pending approval by the governor, although we have all indications that it will be approved, and so it's reflected in the plan. And then starting on page 18, we have a list of some of the Act 252 projects. So one of the key strategic shifts in the agency over the last 4 years has been moving from a sole focus on community development districts towards a broader resource for other government agencies in helping them with development, not only within our community development districts, but potentially outside of those districts. And those Act 252 projects that are in progress are reflected there. And all of those Act 252 projects come before the board for approvals and for regular status updates. So that is essentially what this strategic plan includes. It has an overview of all of HCDA's responsibilities, both within community development districts, Act 252 projects, and overall strategic goals of the agency. The members of the permitted interaction group voted via email unanimously to recommend to this board that the board would adopt this plan that is dated August 5th, 2026. And I and the members of the board are available if anyone has any questions.
Thank you, Sterling. Members, are there any questions or comments to this report? Member Strikes.
Thanks for the report and for the PIG members for hard work on this. I was curious about, because I didn't notice any mention of the industrial parcels in Kaka'ako and a plan for those. I know by planning policy, they seem to be intended to be temporary in nature, as well as like, what the real property assessment deduction is also acknowledging. So is there a reason that wasn't included this round?
Yeah, I remember Strikes, Central Kaka'ako. The reason that wasn't included, I think, is because at least as of right now, I think the plan is to not really focus on development, on the same scale as other areas of Kaka'ako for Central Kaka'ako. The focus really is more on trying to get those streets improved, like Queen Street, Kauai'ao, Waimanu, working with the city to improve those streets. That ordinance 1621 that used to give landowners in Central Kaka'ako real property tax exemption from what we know today, that is not going to get renewed, the 1621 exemption. I think that's a decision that's been made by city administration on that. But I think our focus really is to improve the streets, or to work with the city to improve the streets.
And if I might add, member Strites, on page 11, the item number 14 in the Kaka'ako section, I think sort of encompasses a lot of work the agency is doing to figure out, right, what is happening with these parcels, whether they'll be transferred over to the city. And so that is included. It's just not like a distinct strategic item.
Okay.
And Member Strites also, we are continuing to work with the city on, the remnant parcel transfers, which is, I think, a lot of progress.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, Member Strikes. Any other questions or comments in regards to this big report, staff report? If not, do we have any persons signed up for public testimony?
I'm sure.
Any present or online? No. Okay.
Well, sorry, we have none.
Oh, we do have one?
Yep.
Okay.
Show.
All right, looks like we have one who signed up for provide testimony. Michelle Opitek? Opitek, sorry about that, Michelle.
Okay, I'm not sure if this is where I can make my statement, but I live at 1133 Waimanu. So what you're talking about is Queen, Waimanu, Queen Lane, the entire area that I feel is in the need of getting some sort of traffic survey done. I believe that there's a safety issue, there's a health issue, and a security issue. I had a couple incidences where I've called HPD regarding park rules or even destruction of trees in the Kolawalo Park. And the police said, we can't do anything. HCDA has to report it. I had a video of the person destroying the trees after hours, 10:45 at night, children playing in the playground. Just enforcing the park rules with API security has not been a way for me to resolve the issues of people that live in my building, Kulalani. is also a building that's affected by the construction, by the metal plates. So I'd like to get that addressed, and possibly a traffic survey. Numerous people are driving very fast on Queen Street and Waimanu Street to the Alamoana Shopping Center. We had a shooting over on Kona Street, which is one street over from me. Hopaka Street has been some major issues when it comes to crime. It feels as if HPD is very upset with the state that they don't have the jurisdiction to deal with this criminal activity. And I'd like to get it addressed with the security company, is if that's what's going to continue to happen. Is security company, they need to have the ability to cite people or trespass them that are not abiding by the law or park rules.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Obitet.
Thank
Just for the record, you're representing yourself, am I correct?
I could get a petition going, but it's a lot of people that I feel are affected by the lack of security and health issues and community issues that need to be addressed.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Is
you.
there anyone else on Zoom? No? All right. Members, are there any other questions or comments? If not, let's go to item number 4, the monthly report and other status reports. Monthly financial highlights for May 2026. Executive Director Nakamoto will now provide his monthly report with Garrett Sasaki, Chief Financial Officer, on standby for any questions from the board members.
Thank you, Vice Chair. I'm gonna ask Garrett to come up, if there's any questions. The, dashboard is included with the detail on the financial. If anybody has any questions. Garrett?
Questions? No.
Is there any questions, members, or comments in regards to the monthly report or other status reports? Or any financial questions? Seeing none, public testimony. Okay. So there's no public testimony. That's the last item on our agenda. Thank you very much for those of you who joined us on Zoom or in person. This concludes our business for today and the meeting is adjourned. The time is now 9:23. We will start the Kaka'ako meeting in 7 minutes.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.